You stood across the cage, Paddy Pimblett in front of you, and before the fight, you thought this was going to be easy.
I'm here to prove there are levels to this game. All respect to Paddy the Baddie, but I don't need a jingle, I'm the real deal. Let's do this thing.
You thought the scene was yours, that this kid from Liverpool was just another hype job.
It's a big fight, it's a fun fight, not to take anything away from him, but when you fought Poirier, you fought Gaethje, you fought Oliveira, you fought Dan Hooker, fighting Paddy Pimblett sounds like a fun day at the office compared to some of those.
You thought you were going to walk through him and silence the crowd with violence.
Scousers don't get knocked out. We'll put his name to the test. UFC 314. Let's go, baby.
But instead, you got humbled.
No more than one. Oh! There it is, the king of the north! Paddy Pimblett! Welcome to the land of the elite!
And now, you're living the reality of what it feels like to lose to freaking Paddy Pimblett.
I'm gonna be the first to say it if they won't say it. You the real deal, brother.
Yes, Bobby. Yes, King Green. Love to see that.
Let's rewind this nightmare and break it all down. Michael Chandler talked the talk.
Man, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do exactly what I always do. I'm going to have one foot on the gas, one foot on Paddy's throat. I'm going to throw big bombs, and we're going to see if he sinks or swims.
But Paddy the Daddy walked him down.
No more than one. Oh! Big knee from Pimblett!
Before we go any further, let me get something crystal clear. I am not one of those people saying the American was never elite. That also doesn't mean that good old Mike could be called best of the bests, but still, I'm not here to downplay a veteran just to gas up the new blood. Despite having zero fight IQ and coming to the UFC past his prime, Iron Mike is a killer, a warrior who's gone to war with the best of the best. He gave hell to Oliveira in their first fight, went to war with Gaethje, almost finishing him, and stood toe-to-toe with Poirier. Despite not being the championship material, at least in the UFC, he arguably had the tools to win all of these fights. But he's also taken damage, lots of it, and in this sport, the clock ticks fast. To be honest, it was a case of two worlds colliding. An aging Chandler, no longer able to compete at the highest level, met a young and hungry Scouser who simply couldn't be stopped that night.
If the opportunity arises for me to take him down, I will, because I think if I get him down, he's not lasting longer than 3 minutes on the floor with me. And I know I can take him down, all this, oh, he's a Division 1 wrestler. I don't give a f***, know what I mean?
So for him to feel my presence and my pressure right away, he'll know from the first exchange who I am. He'll know from the first exchange what a top 5 guy is, what a top lightweight in the world is.
Let's talk about what the MMA world expected. Oh, Paddy's gonna get exposed, they said. Chandler's gonna kill him in round 1. Too much talk, not enough talent. And now they're the same people screaming. Well, Chandler is old. He was already declining. This win doesn't mean much. Shut the hell up. You don't get to spit on a fighter pre-fight and then move the goalpost when he cooks your favorite.
Paddy Pimblett showed tonight that he is the real deal. Beating Michael Chandler and beating him the way that he did, I don't know how you can doubt the kid anymore.
Paddy didn't just win, he dominated. He cooked Chandler's face like a full English, fed him jabs like morning tea, then served up a flying knee for dessert. This wasn't a fluke, this wasn't lucky, this was technical, calculated, violence. The baddie came in laser sharp, snapping that jab like a damn whip, checking kicks, landing his own, slipping shots like he'd seen the future. And when Chandler tried to turn it into a brawl, he got bullied at his own game. You think that man doesn't hit hard? You think just because he's got the goofy walk and the silly accent he's not in there to end careers? This is a guy who rehydrates like a freaking welterweight. Just look at the size difference. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I smell blood in the water and I've got proper killer instinct. And obviously I went for the submission at first, but after watching Charles fighting for 5 rounds, that's why Charles never got the finish. He was hunting the submission. And I just knew I could TKO him on the floor with ground and pound.
A lightweight walking in there with middleweight power and cracked confidence. And the worst part for Iron Mike and Paddy's haters? He made it look easy. That flying knee didn't just break Chandler's face. It shattered the doubt that's been hanging over Paddy since day one.
I said it before the fight, once I beat him, people will be like, oh, he was 2-4 in the UFC, he's washed, he's 38. So they'll probably say the same, but I don't give a flying fuck. I'm going to be ranked 7 on Monday, so suck a dick.
So if you're sitting there still talking down on this performance, you're just mad your predictions age like milk. You're salty, and that's okay. Because here's the thing. This was the most important win of the Scousers' entire career. Don't get me wrong. I still stand by what I said. Chandler could have beaten anyone in the lightweight top 5, but the reality is, he didn't. He lost those fights. Mike could underestimate Paddy all he wanted. But the reasoning behind that underestimation was beyond bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, only he knows whether he's a lion or not. Is he young? Yes. But is he a lion? He definitely has not proven that yet. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. You know, just because he hasn't been battle tested yet by any top competition doesn't mean that he's not a lion. But I got a sneaky suspicion he wouldn't be able to hang with the dudes like me, the Poiriers, the Gaethjes, the Oliveras, these guys who you literally have to kill to get outside of the octagon. So, you know, we'll see. It remains to be seen. All I know is I've fought the top contenders. I've had an opportunity to fight for the title, become the #1 contender. I've had these great opportunities. And
like, seriously, he genuinely believed that losing to the top guys in the division somehow made him a better fighter than the baddie?
it's just a different level. And I still believe where I'm at, it's a bad matchup stylistically for him. That first time he gets hit by one of the toughest punchers in the UFC lightweight division, which he has not faced yet, it's going to be a different feeling. It's going to be a different speed. It's going to be a different ferocity that he hasn't felt before.
I've heard some wild takes from UFC fighters, but this one? Easily top 3 material. Old man Mike clearly overestimated himself. A 38-year-old on the decline, with miles of damage on the clock, completely out of touch with where he actually stood in the division. Yes, losing to the best of the best can make you better, but Chandler? That just wasn't the case. And look, I get it. He was just trying to hype the fight, trying to sell the moment. But using your losses as a way to position yourself above your opponent? Yeah, probably not the move.
I was saying this yesterday in an interview, I don't see where he can beat me. Only way he's going to beat me is if he throws a Hail Mary punch and it knocks me out, but I don't get knocked out, lad. I can see me just dismantling him and beating him everywhere. It's no fight of the night coming this time. I'm getting performance of the night after a fast finish.
After listening to all that nonsense, the Scouser said, "Hold my pint," and dunked on him. So what's next for the King of the North? I actually get your point and kind of agree with that. Chandler is no Makhachev, Oliveira, or Tsarukyan. But you just can't deny the fact that no one in the lightweight division has ever done to Chandler what Paddy did. Poirier, Gaethje, Oliveira, they all took massive damage from Iron Mike, and each of them was just inches away from defeat. But Paddy allowed Chandler to throw only 11 significant strikes over 3 rounds. He didn't just beat Chandler, he dissected him on the feet, piece by piece. And then he finished him, just to put a stamp on it.
This is how we win. We game plan, we use our fight IQ, and we beat up. Anyone else got any questions?
And now, it's not a question of if Paddy belongs with the top dogs. It's when he gets his shot at the throne. I'm not talking about slow builds or hand-picked matchups anymore. I'm talking title contention. Give this man a top 5 opponent next. Someone with firepower. Someone who can test him everywhere. Gamrot? Dariush? Chandler too in the nursing home? Hell, give him Tsarukyan, Gaethje, or Oliveira, and let's see if he's ready. Because if he wins one more against a real contender, you have to give him Islam. You have to reward this rise with the ultimate test. And Chandler? Yeah, maybe it's time to think about hanging up the gloves. That McGregor fight is dead. The top 5 ain't calling. The damage is adding up. There's no shame in stepping aside when the next wave comes in swinging like this. You didn't lose to a fraud, Mike. You lost to the future. Now the spotlight is his. And the belt? As crazy as it sounds, it's not that far for Paddy anymore. So go ahead, say it with me one time for the haters in the back. Paddy Pimblett is legit, and if you still think otherwise, you might be next on his hit list. And remember, It's only funny until he starts knocking out your favorites. See you in the next one.